Hello, everyone. I'm Johntavious Jones with C Community Enrichment, and I'm joined here by Nadiya Seago-Tate. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you, Nadiya?
I am originally from Augusta, Georgia, and I am currently in school to obtain my Business of Bachelor's Administration. And I hope to become an entrepreneur and manage my mom's business in Augusta, Georgia. She has an alteration business named Alicia Designs, and yeah, I can't wait to see what the future holds for me.
Okay. Aren't you also an artist of sorts?
Yes, I do a little painting here and there. A little social media affiliate marketing too, just on the side. That's about it though. Self-taught artist as well. So yes.
Okay. And what do you do again? You do paintings?
I do paintings, canvas paintings. I do custom clothing painting as well. So painting on jeans, corsets, anything of that nature that causes me to be creative. That's what I do.
Okay. How'd you get into that?
Well, being young, I was placed into a fine arts program after school. So after school, I would go straight there. The fine arts that they offered were creative arts. Um, you had dance, theater. Theater and drama kind of were the same thing. So you had those classes as well, and you had photography. Um, So with this program, we were there from got out of school at like 2:30. So 2 to 6, or sometimes 3 to 6, depends on whenever you got out of school. Um, the school's name was Jesse Norman School of the Arts. They just opened a location somewhere in Atlanta, from what I was told, a second location. I went to the location in Augusta, Georgia, and that's where I kind of got my creativity from. Um, but I believe it started before then. I was in ballet before I attended that school. And I also, at home, I love music a lot. So I was at home creating my own songs, just singing and dancing around the house, performing for my mama. So that's kind of where it started. I didn't get into art until middle school, however. My main focus when attending Jesse Norman was strictly dance. I love dancing a lot. So I kind of pushed myself to become a great dancer, and then everything else just so happened to fall into that category, I guess, of being creative. Um,
Okay.
so that's kind of how I got into art. I took a summer class. I think that's originally where I kind of oh, okay, I can draw. I can paint a little bit. Not as well as my teacher, but it's kind of close. He's noticing me a little bit, so I kind of want to take it serious. And then after I stopped attending Jesse Norman, which was my 8th grade year in middle school, so I kind of just let it go, and I didn't pick it up after that. Of course, I had to take art in high school, so I didn't really find it fun in high school. Didn't find any interest in it actually. So I picked it back up in college, and the way it happened was kind of different. I told my roommates like, "Hey, I'm creative. If y'all ever need anything done, just ask and I'll paint it for you. It's no problem." So my roommate kind of believed that I could make a pair of jeans for her, paint on them. And I was just like, yeah, I'll try. I don't know if it'll be good, but I haven't picked up a brush in I don't know how long, but we'll see. And from there, I kind of made my own little business here at school. So whenever someone in D9 needed something painted, or if they needed something for an event to be used, a prop or something, that's where I came to play. So I kind of was making money in that way of painting and coming up with fashion for people to wear in my own way. So that's
Okay.
where my creativity came from. I have stopped doing that specifically because I notice when I don't have consistency when it comes to my creativity, I just tend to let it go. So it's been a while since I painted actually.
What's a while?
2 years. The last time I painted something was December of 2023.
Okay.
It's been a
And
good minute.
yeah, was it like school kind of taking your attention off that?
Um, Honestly, I just was not determined to paint anymore because of my income on getting customers and client retention wasn't that well. So I was just like, obviously it's not working out for me, so I'm just gonna drop it. And as of last year, I had a few people inquire about getting things done, but it never went further to actually getting the product sold. So I was just like, yeah, this is not for me right now, obviously. But when the time comes back around, I believe that I'll be able to, you know, stick with creating things specifically.
Okay. Is that something you're looking forward to?
Um, yes and no. I'm still quite unsure if that's the path I want to go with when it comes to me personally owning my own business because I feel like many people have high expectations of me continuing what my mom has already done with sewing, being a fashion designer. I think that's kind of what's deterring me from, okay, I don't know if this is going to be successful because it's not quite what my mom does. So I know I will have to try a little bit harder to let people understand this is my way of being creative. Although she has her lane and has been successful, I can spin off on it and create my own. But me being sold on that myself, I'm not quite sure as of yet. So we're gonna work on that part a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thank you for sharing that with us. And the pressure, like, does that come from your mom, the expectations, or is it the people who know your mom and they're like,
Um,
Daddy, this is you?
I honestly, my mom knows that I'm not the type to want to sew. I don't have no patience for it. I just cannot sit behind a sewing machine all day. She can. She finds a lot of enjoyment out of it. Me personally, no. So she doesn't pressure me into knowing how to sew. Of course, I know some of the basics because literally I was there when I got out of preschool, daycare of the sorts, or if I wasn't in preschool or daycare, that's where I would be at her job. So I feel like it's more so the customers. Her being in that area for so long, she's had customers that have seen me grow up and they expect me to. She already has this lined up for you, so you need to kind of jump into what she's already had lined up for you. So that's where the pressure is coming from. And, it's always some older woman. This is great. I think you should. Da, da, da. And it's great and all. I'm acknowledging it. I'm taking that wisdom, but it's just the pressure of trying to learn how to sew. It just is. It's not an overnight thing. So I feel like with that, it's a strict no for me when it comes to those high expectations from others. I quickly let them know, like, this is her. This is her ministry, not mine. This is what she's called to do, not me. I'm sorry. So yeah,
Good. Awesome. I think no matter what you do, I think you'll be great at it. So yeah, follow your heart.
hopefully.
All right. And where can people find you? Like, how can people connect with you if you want them?
I'm
How can
mostly
people
on
connect?
Pinterest. Sure, I need some other stuff to do. So, more work to broadcast. I have a Pinterest account. It is The Art of Nadi. So TheArtofNadi. The only thing capitalized is the T. So that's where you can pretty much find me as far as my work, like showcasing my work, things of that nature.
Okay. If the clientele is good, will you get back into the art?
I feel like with me, how I am, it wouldn't necessarily just be about the clientele. Like I would have to want that drive to want to paint again. It just necessarily like money wouldn't just necessarily move me. I feel like I would have to be in that mindset of, okay, I know I'm available in my mind to produce what this specific client would want or to the best of my abilities, or I'm just in that creative mood to want to paint for a living. And honestly, in this day and age, that's kind of hard for me to visualize me being able to make profit off of strictly just creating and painting alone. So I feel like I would have to get myself back in the mindset, okay, you can make something of yourself out of this passion that you have, but I need to put in the work as well. So me knowing I'm not putting in the work right now, I can't quite see that for myself. But I like the route I am going, I would say.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're going to put your name out there. If people watch this, see what happens.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Thank you for sharing that with us. And the dancing, you still dance or you stopped dancing too?
I stopped dancing a long time ago. The closest thing I did to dancing was cheerleading, and that was high school, and that's 4 years ago. So, it's been a minute. So literally once I stopped attending Jesse Norman, that's when everything, like all my creative ability just went out the window besides painting. So I feel like I would want to get back into dancing, but I just know it wouldn't be the same type of passion I had when I was younger.
Okay. Now, what happened to the Jesse Norman School?
Um, I really think it was just me growing up, honestly. So this school was for, I believe, ages leaving elementary school. So maybe fifth grade all the way. You could stay all the way until high school if you wanted to. Me, however, I thought I was too good to be in there with little kids. So in the time that it was showing up to me that I didn't like being there anymore, not necessarily being there anymore. I just couldn't grasp, oh, I'm gonna have to be in an art class or a dance class with a 13-year-old as a 17 or 16-year-old. So that's what kind of was in my mind. I was just like, yeah, I think I've grown out of it, but the concept of being creative, I think that was still there for me. I wish I would have stayed because I feel like if I would have kept my passion for dancing, my life route would be in a different way. But I'm not complaining about the route I'm on now either. So
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us. I can understand not wanting to be surrounded by
Yeah,
little
it's
kids.
just I don't know. It's just once you experience kids doing what you're doing, they kind of take the fun out of it just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. So it's just like, okay, this is more so becoming babysitting rather than me diving into what I want to do as a profession because I did want to be a dancer and I wanted that to be my profession when I was younger, but I just let that get in the way, sadly.
Okay. What kind of
Yeah.
dance were you into?
I did modern dance. As a child, I did strictly ballet. But at Jesse Norman, I did, I think we did tap maybe twice, and we did 1 point class. So I've experienced some of everything but hip hop. Um, could not get me to do that. But everything else I've pretty much experienced. But I love modern dancing. I love the concept of ballet. But the strength behind ballet, I know I myself personally, I'm not that capable of holding myself up in that manner. So yeah. Yeah, it's a sport, really, honestly, that some people don't acknowledge because it takes a lot of grit and a lot of muscle. So yeah,
Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that with us. Learned so much about you today, Nadia.
yes.
Now, how do we know each other?
I work for you. I'm your intern.
Yeah.
I have the best internship actually because this is something that I want to do as my career or start as my career. This is where I wanted to start off at. So it was kind of like a blessing that I got this opportunity. So yes, this is my boss.
She's interning. I'm not paying her anything. She may
Yes.
just be trying to butter me up.
Oh
We'll see.
my. No, not at all. This is literally something that I wanted for myself. So yes, I'm glad I have an administrative position because that's something that I was aiming for going out of college because I wanted to climb up that way. So yeah.
Okay, cool. And speaking of college, that's why I brought you here today. Can you tell us a little bit more about what motivated you to go into higher education?
So what specifically motivated me to seek higher education? Um, One would be my mom. Um, in high school, I was in AP, so those classes were rigorous alone by themselves. So I knew from there I just couldn't let that what I've already put myself through go. Just being an AP, knowing that I can take a difficult course, I know that I could push myself further to learn critically and take those experiences into the adult world. Um, I am a futuristic thinker, so I already knew that I wanted to go off to school and be independent and learn myself as a person already. So I feel like that's what kind of pushed me as well to get a higher education and as well of my mother. I know I wanted to go much farther than what she did. Because she has her associate's degree, I know I wanted to push past that and get my bachelor's. I was not intending on going into the business realm going into college. I wanted to be a psychology major, but me being me, I let constant chatter in my ear and conversations that were with my mother from other people be brought back to me and negate me from going into that field. But I'm not complaining about being in the business field because there's various routes you can go with that degree. So I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful that opportunity of even being in college as a Black woman. So yeah, that's kind of what pushed me.
Okay. And how's your experience been as a college student?
For my current experience, it has been a journey. Um, with family issues, having to go home due to family issues, um, not achieving in classes how I intended myself. Um, just, overall academic normalities, I guess, when being a college student, those play into that experience. Experiencing a death for the first time in college, which was kind of a blind side to me. So that played a impact in my experience as well as personal growth, trying to know myself and gain who I am as a person while trying to achieve my goal of obtaining my degree. So just overall, my experience definitely was um, something I will remember for sure. But it also has shaped me into who I am as a person more so than high school and any other experience I've had so far. So that's what I could say. I think my experience overall in college could have been better if I went to another school, I would say. I don't think my experiences would have changed. I feel like I would have went through the same things that I've experienced here at this school, but the support and understanding from peers and professors or faculty could have been a lot different if I were somewhere else. That makes sense.
Gotcha. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm sorry you experienced
Yeah,
grief in
yeah.
your college
It was
experience.
it was very it was new because I've never experienced it into the way that I did at the time. Um, I think the closest thing I've experienced to grief or anything of that sort was my grandfather passing, and I was very young when that happened. So I really didn't remember anything correlating to that. So feeling that for the first time definitely took a toll on my academics and just me as a person, how I moved on from that point on. So yeah,
Thank you for sharing that. I think I had my first loss after grad school. It was a friend of mine. And prior to his passing, I was thinking to myself, like, if my mom passed, would I cry? Because I'm not
yeah,
usually emotional. And then I got a text from his dad. He was like, Brandon passed. I started crying. I cried myself to sleep. I was like, yeah, you're going to cry when other people pass too. And it's going to be okay.
yeah. I had to learn myself that it's something that's gonna happen. It's just the way that it happens to people or what they go through for that to happen. It's not something that you can change. I feel like that's the situation with me. I felt like that's what was hard to grasp. Like kind of like a guilt type of aspect about it, I guess. So yes, definitely something that will change how you are as a person, sure.
Yeah. But you came out of it stronger.
Yes. I didn't think I would, but I did. Definitely.
From everything you've been sharing with me today, I feel like you put a lot of pressure on yourself.
I do. I actually do. Sometimes I try to lay back on trying to get everything done because that's how I am. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to get this done. I need to make sure this is good this way, specific way, make sure it's tidy and completed. And I feel like that takes a toll with me in my academics as well because I have to let myself know that it's okay to not have something always figured out or not always being able to control a circumstance. And college has shown me that, especially when it comes to taking exams. You'll study for something, think you know it, get to the exam, you don't know nothing at all. So that it's definitely shaped me for sure. And I do have a tendency of trying to control something and always being very harsh on myself for sure.
Okay. Okay. And I relate heavily to the giving up control aspect of it. And there was something else you said that I kind of experienced myself, the not knowing. Like
Yeah,
college really helped me get okay and not knowing because we
yeah,
can't
yeah.
know everything.
See, I feel okay.
Like, I
Yeah,
don't know this. That's okay. It's like, I might
yes,
fail this test. That's
but
okay.
yeah, you have to just be okay with okay. I know I'm about to fail, so I have to prepare myself for knowing that I'm about to fail. Just be okay with the outcome of that. Um, so I feel like that's something that I'm continuously like learning and trying to work on. Just being okay with being okay, because sometimes that's okay.
Yeah. And we got to get okay not being okay too. Just, we're
Yes,
not always going to be at
yeah,
100 50 is gonna have to cut it sometimes.
Yes, sometimes.
Hmm. What's hmm, what would you say has been the greatest challenge you've had to overcome in your academic career?
Um, the greatest challenge that I've had so far, uh, genuinely career wise, it has been a year of trying to find something that I can find a passion for and that I can see myself doing on a daily. Just because of this job market as a student alone, but coming out as a graduate is been something crazy. I would have been done December if I would have had an internship. So with my program my school that I'm in, we're required to have a certain amount of hours, something that correlates to our degree. And I know how I am as a person. I've already did an internship prior to the one I'm doing currently. And I knew that I didn't want to do that again. I just did the first internship because I needed the hours. It was not something that I wanted to see myself doing career wise. So getting over the fact that sometimes you're going to have to work somewhere that you don't want to work was something that spun me for a loop. That was a challenge for me. So going into this second internship, I made it my mission, or going into a job search, I made it my mission to specifically find something that I know I could excel in. I know that could make me happy. So I won't be waking up every day like, huh, I have to do this. Like I'm not miserable. So just hopping into the job market as a current student, a future grad, it's been a journey for sure this past year. Getting acceptable to no's has been something I've been working on as of recently because it takes a couple of no's before you get a yes. And I know people say that often, and I did not want to hear it, but it is actually the truth because you're going to hear constant no's from people because that's just life. Every obstacle or every situation you experience is going to have some type of no somewhere along the lines. So I feel like that has been my biggest challenge so far in college. Period. Um, it's just finding a career that I can find myself happy in, and I know that I could grow in and see my growth without feeling miserable, drained, burned out, all of that. So yes.
Okay, I like it. So tell us more about your current internship and
So my current internship, I am an administrative support assistant. So I just handle files, documents. I've been doing a little bit of everything. So I kind of like that. It allows me to put my creative input in certain situations that I didn't think I would have to say in. So I feel like that's new for me. Something that I've noticed within myself, I'm more vocal with my opinions when it comes to team projects and working on certain projects with other individuals. So knowing that was a weakness of mine in the career that I'm in and that I'm currently working on, and I see myself getting better at it and knowing that it is okay to voice my opinion. I feel like this internship has been helping me so far. So yes, I'm a current intern at Seed Community Enrichment and I love it. And it's the career path that I want to go down. So yes.
awesome. And you feeling hopeful about taking over and kind of managing your mom's business?
Yes. As long as she is getting accustomed to me giving my creative advice because it can be hard with someone who has been in business all these years and what they know has been working for them. It is kind of hard to take that advice from someone who hasn't had a business, who is just now getting into the loops of the business realm, the world period. Um, so hopefully it'll be a little bit easier knowing once I have my degree and I have gained this experience that she'll kind of take my advice more on certain aspects such as social media. I'm kind of getting her into being okay with that. So I feel like it'll be easier once she see I got my accreditation, my backup, my degree, my diploma behind it. So yeah.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
If you ever need me to talk to her for you, let me know. Say,
yes.
Nadiya's got this.
I
Trust her.
got it.
You did great work.
You can trust her. So
Yeah,
yes.
happy for you. And you helping with your mom's business, was that her idea or your idea?
Um, Before I didn't want any aspect of touching anything because I know how detailed she is when it comes to certain things and how she likes things. I didn't want any parts of it. But I've been wanting her to branch off. So it was sort of my idea of telling her it's okay, you've been doing this a little while, almost 30 years now. So just take a step back on some things and know that I can handle some aspects of your business. I feel like it was my idea. Now, when it came to the ideas that she's been having me doing, it's definitely hers because she's not gonna let me just come up with something by myself. Knowing how long she's been in business, so for sure, a little bit of my idea, just trying to get her out of what she's comfortable in for the most part. So yeah,
Okay. Change is difficult,
it
but
is.
it's possible, especially when you got good people trying to help you. Yeah,
Yes.
good. Keep sharing your opinion. Yeah, like it gets easier. I don't like sharing my opinion too much, but I
I don't
will.
either.
Necessary.
Honestly, speaking outside of career wise, I don't like sharing my opinion. I'm a very introverted person. I'm very quiet. So maybe if somebody comes to me for advice, I'm quick to, you should do this. I don't really like this. That's the only time I will speak on something. But other than just like coming out and bluntly saying something, absolutely not. Yeah.
Gotcha. Me, me too. I like I speak when necessary. I feel like if I speak too much, then my opinion won't matter that much. So I say
Yes,
it.
I'm the same way. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So we're out of time today, but thank you for joining us for the pilot episode of Name to be Determined.
Yes.
We'll have a name next time, but we will have Nadiya back to talk more about her experience in college because I'm sure she has some great things to share with us. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Bye.